What do you think? Do you think Goku could be autistic?
Full transparency, you'd mentioned this to me before, and when you said it, I was like,
This is the CHADGPT podcast. We are live from the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. I am your host, Nick.
and I, too, am your host, Nick.
Should make it very easy for people to figure out who are those guys on that show.
You know the Nicks?
There's large Nick and then very
And then
petite,
bearded Nick.
very petite Nick.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah,
People talking about my 6 foot plus stature.
yeah, that's what they're like.
And
Yeah,
then
that.
they go, tall Nick. Even sitting down, tall Nick.
You know the one that's built like a beanpole? That Nick.
A
Beanpole Nick.
You're beanpole Nick. You look like a little lima bean.
I don't know. I think I look pretty Chad.
You look pretty Chad. You look pretty Chad.
Speaking of Chad,
Talk to me.
we had some Chad questions to start it off, right?
Yes, we did. Yes, we do. So, by the way, guys, you can DM them, or you can hit the email address, or even toss them in the comments if you're not scared, if you're really Chad, so we can adjudicate you on your Chad-related dilemmas.
Yeah, and for the record, Chad does not mean like Andrew Tate or like
No.
Red Pill.
No,
It's just, how would you describe Chad?
I would describe Chad as someone. Ready? This is my definition of Chad: someone who, above all else, represents their ideals and dreams in a way that is identifiably masculine traditionally, but never toxic, and also has a sick body.
Yeah, it's almost like when the incels start talking about it, some people call themselves alphas. It's more of like a sigma.
Yeah. In their way to describe it, yeah. I would say it's like, honestly, a guy
We
who...
get girls, so we don't say that.
I mean, I won't even address that. Like, to me, it's about, did you watch Dragon Ball Z and then try to be that?
Yeah.
That's what
Have you
matters.
tried to go Super Saiyan even in your 30s?
Yeah, if you haven't tried to go Super Saiyan in your 30s, we're not the same kind of person.
It's actually how me and Nick kind of met, too.
Yeah.
We went Super Saiyan. And we're like, oh, you can do it, too?
We were both staring at what we thought was a mirror, and it was just us on the other side.
Yeah, I was like,
of it.
oh no, this is one of those funhouse mirrors that make me look small. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, so when we met, like, we've always seen each other around, but like we never really knew each other.
Yeah.
And then it was almost like in the movie Step Brothers,
Yeah.
where we're like, oh, you like working out on Dragon Ball Z? I like working out on Dragon Ball Z. Let's be best friends.
There were like 3 times we interacted, and by the third one, I was like, I love that guy. I told my girlfriend, I was like, I like have a new best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sad I didn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually one of the parts.
That's
of
one of
how
the things.
when we both got broken up with.
We both got broken up with.
We were
Wow.
both sad, not being Chads.
We were both not chatting.
No,
No.
we're chatting, not chatting.
Yeah.
With a
Yeah.
D.
We were chatting like chads.
We were being very. It was a very sad time for the
Yeah.
both of us.
Yeah, we were both like diving back into the world of chatification because we had both been broken up with. We were doing stand up at a club in Midtown. We were deep diving anime for inspiration, I would imagine.
Yeah, I was just watching Vegeta videos
Yeah.
every day, trying to pump myself up to
Yeah.
not be such a little bitch.
Exactly, just embracing my inner pride.
Mm-hmm.
And also, here's the other thing about like Vegeta and why he's such a great character is like because he makes you feel like I can be proud, but he also is wrong about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's the best when it comes to giving a speech.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by getting the ever-loving shit kicked out of him. Vegeta's like 0-14 in battles.
He literally will show up to the battlefield and inspire everyone.
Everybody. Like, I
Look
get
deep
goosebumps.
inside yourself. Think about what, and then get his ass kicked in a nanosecond. Dude. Just immediately flattened, and then Goku's like, for it's worth, I was already inspired. This is about the planet. I'm good.
Yeah, it's just that's what he's there for. He gives the great speech. Piccolo stands far away, showing off his sick outfit.
Right.
And then Goku is the one who actually gets everything taken care of.
100% of the time, unfortunately. And I mean, Vegeta's got some like good key moments in there, but the thing that he's mostly used for is like he's kind of dying and goes like Kakarot, and then like a little bit of his energy goes into Goku, and Goku's like, I'll pretend I need this. You have a great take on Goku.
Yes.
That I think we should start with.
So I wonder how you feel about this. I've been thinking about this because I've been watching Love on the Spectrum a lot. This is where this came from. Mm-hmm. Big fan of Love on the Spectrum. Shout out Connor. Connor rules.
Connor's the man.
James
Both
rules.
Of us,
James also rules.
James is great. James is my favorite guy because of his collection.
I suppose.
I suppose. This is all with love, but like
I've never had a bad feeling about like
no.
I could actually show you.
Please.
Hold on.
I don't know if I like blondes.
I took a picture of me crying while watching it.
Wow.
I don't know if you could zoom in on the tears in my eyes.
That's really cute, man. That's honestly Chad.
Yeah,
That's honestly Chad.
You know what it was? It was the girl whose mom.
Because you were pissed you didn't make the cut for the season.
Yeah. It's like, why?
Like Super Saiyan!
My pride.
My pride.
I am the strongest of all the.
Why
autists.
does autism get an accent?
I don't know.
Diabetes doesn't get an accent.
Gay and autistic have accents.
It makes no sense.
There is an accent.
I have OCD, and I'm not like, by the way.
Okay, so back to where I was going with this. Yeah. I have ADD, Nick has OCD, for the record, and I get off track. Sometimes you're going to have to reel me in. So I've been watching Love on the Spectrum, and also I, for some reason, watch Dragon Ball Z via TikTok 30 seconds at a time.
Yep.
And I was listening to Love on the Spectrum while watching Dragon Ball Z, and I went, hey, wait a minute. I think Goku's autistic. What do you think? Do you think Goku could be autistic?
Full transparency, you'd mentioned this to me before, and when you said it, I was like, that show makes so much more sense now.
Right?
A completely stamp of approval on that.
Like when it comes to personality-wise, he is, like some people are obsessed with trains. He's obsessed with training. Like fighting is his autism skill.
Yeah.
Like some people could do numbers. His is just power level.
Right. Like if you like drop a jar of marbles and like can count all of them, his version of that is just piecing up an alien. Senzu beans.
How many senzu beans do you think in this jar?
He's
75.
Like, 7 Dragon Balls. I'm telling you.
And like his whole personality, like even like when it comes to his wife, like you brought it up, right? So like when it comes to Chi-Chi, like how did you explain it?
Goku has 0 interpersonal relationship skills as it relates
with
to
anybody.
His kids, his wife, and the way he defends his friends is in a very like 6th grade autistic way, where he's just like, "Do not insult my friend!" Like he literally is chilling all the time, doesn't care about anything, and then loses it. I will not let you destroy my world. Like that's a freak out, dude. That's a tantrum.
He crashes out hard.
He crashes hard.
He's
He
stimming.
ramps and crashes.
It's even like so like when any of his kids would just be like, "Hey, Dad," he's like, "You want to fight?"
Yeah. He literally enters like domestic child abuse cases with his kids on a regular basis.
Oh, he's
and like
beating
that's
them.
his only way to connect with them.
Actually, both parents just beat their children. That's how was it Gohan or Goten? It might have been Goten. Became Super Saiyan the first time, was getting attacked by Chi-Chi until he just stopped being a bitch and went Super Saiyan.
And for Vegeta, it was Trunks goes Super Saiyan and surprises him, which by the way, if your son unlocks the power of like a, hidden race and you don't know about it, you're not actively parenting. Like, dude, if I transformed into a dragon and my mom was like, "Oh, you can do that?" I'd be like, "Yeah, where were you?" So Trunks goes Super Saiyan, and then Vegeta's reaction is, "Fight me now, and I'll take you to the park."
They're terrible parents.
So bad, dude. This is how bad a parent Goku is that Gohan comes out a studious child. Like, he wants to go to school.
Oh, yeah.
And then Goku's like, "No, fuck that shit, dude."
Yeah, didn't he get a full ride to an university? And Goku's like, "Let's fight."
He got a full ride to Princeton. And Goku's like, "Dude, I'm telling you, it's about hands. You don't need that shit. You don't need that shit."
That's his trains. That's his trains, is fighting.
That's why when people say, like, "Oh, like, if they ever make a live action Dragon Ball movie, because the one that they made didn't happen, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But if they ever make a live action Dragon Ball movie, like they should have Japanese actors play the characters because it's a Japanese show. And I'm like, yeah, I'm for that, except Goku, because there's no Asian parent that's like, fuck all that.
You know, it's so funny you just said that because something just clicked in my head. Because we had a video go very viral of Harry Potter casting Snape as a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I am now officially on board with him getting cast as a black guy because I want Dragon Ball Z to be able to cast a white dude.
Yeah.
I want to play Vegeta so bad.
Yeah, it's going to be heartbreaking for you when I get it.
You need muscle. You need fighting abilities. You need to be
have both of those.
You need to be able to motivate people.
Have both of those. Have all that.
Good hair.
Hat on, check.
Nope.
I can get you a role, dude. If you want to play like,
you could play Mr.
You're
Pope.
like a
you could play
Gildo.
Mr. Popo.
You're like Gildo, dude.
Yeah, you're Krillin, buddy.
You.
Actually, you would make a great Yamcha.
I would actually make a great Yamcha, and Yamcha, first of all, is the first one to hit Bulma. What's up? He also is a bandit that rides around on a motorcycle, beating people up. He also enters the World Martial Arts Championship as a guy, like he no powers, loves wolves.
Yeah.
Yamcha's the man.
You can be Yamcha.
And Yamcha also is like, yo, I'm down to like save the earth from aliens, whatever. He's just a guy. He played professional baseball. Yamcha's the most Chad of all time. Sorry if there's a popular meme of him being flattened by an alien race, dude. Imagine if like Alex Rodriguez fought aliens on planet Earth's
he's
behalf.
basically, that's why when people are like, I remember someone made a video, they're like, if you could choose anybody in anime to fight, and win, and you think you win, who would you pick? And people were picking him and Krillin. That's like picking John Jones and Mike Tyson in his prime.
Right.
Like, that is the best we have to offer.
That's it's so dumb to say that.
We went far on this Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, we went deep on that.
Yeah. But speaking of have you been watching Love on the Spectrum?
I have. I watched the first 2 episodes the newest season.
This is what I've noticed about this show. They date right.
Yeah.
Like, they know exactly what they want, and they are unabashedly going to tell you how they feel.
100%.
And, like, I can't tell you that I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could go on a date and at the end just go, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I've thought that in my head and been like, well, I guess I'll just never talk to this person again?
Dude, so I talk about this in my new special. I have like 10 minutes on Love on the Spectrum, but one thing that I've also thought a lot about in the context of the joke and outside is that exact thing where after the date, they can just honestly report that like, hey, I think of you as a friend. And because the other person has autism, it doesn't, they're just like, fuck it, yeah, okay.
It bounces off like bullets on Superman. They're like, don't care.
One of the lines in the act is the only problem with autism is that not everybody has it.
That's so true. Like, there was the episode yesterday where I was watching, and the girl's into trains, and the other girl's like, I'm not really that into trains. And I just saw the look on her face go, oh, I don't like you.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
I think that might turn around, but people, like, how often have you gone on dates and been like, yeah, I like basket weaving too, or whatever kind of goofy shit you've had to say just to, like, keep this conversation going because you're like, oh, she's hot, so I'm going to pretend to like this stupid shit too.
Because also an autistic person will say, I want to have sex with you. And the other person will go, oh, I do, or I don't. And basket weaving won't have to be a way to do it.
Yeah, you don't have
you
to
can
fucking
just be
whimsy.
transparent.
Yeah.
I know exactly what
A girl doesn't have to pretend she cares about the Yankees.
Right.
You know?
You've never had to be like, I'm a Democrat. Or
I'm a white dude for Kamala.
Right. And that's when you're on a date with a guy. I'm teasing. I'm joking around. Oh boy.
But like they have it right. Like they go, "Are you into this?" No. Cool.
Yeah.
And some of them will be like, "I don't even want to be your friend."
Right.
And they're like, "That's fine."
Which is so awesome, dude, because like I mean, our friendship is based on mutual interests. Even my relationship with my girlfriend is such that we don't necessarily have all the same interests, but we're both interested in like the sort of rudiments of the same things. So she can be like, why do you like Dragon Ball Z? Explain it to me. Because she hated Batman until we started dating, and then she saw Batman through my perspective, and now she like kind of like I don't say she loves Batman, but she definitely like appreciates Batman because of the things I like about it, which she never really saw. Like I never watched dating reality shows, and now I'm like, oh, Love on the Spectrum, best show ever. Love is Blind, so fun,
So good.
so funny to watch. Like, yeah.
I mean, people could grow into those things.
That's
you know?
true.
Like my ex was from South America, so she didn't understand stand-up comedy, and her family definitely didn't understand it being a career, which was they're like, he tells jokes. Oh, that's gonna go well. You know? Here's the joke. That's your boyfriend. But like, you know, she didn't understand. She knew who Kevin Hart was, but she like didn't watch stand-up. So when she finally saw me do stand-up, and then like, you know, now she actually is a fan of stand-up. But like before that, she would have no reason to be like, why am I gonna go listen to some guy talk about his life, you know, or not have jokes and do crowd work. Yeah,
it's funny that your girl and my grandmother have the same perspective. Honestly, dude, if you're not born in America within the past 15 years, there's no way you look at stand-up and go like, oh, that's like a real viable thing.
Yeah, it's a job.
I have explained and shown, and my grandma, my yaya, we're Greek, even saw me do stand-up once. And I've since had many conversations with her trying to like explain how it works and whatever, and she just over her head, dude. Like this is a woman, by the way, who came from Greece when she was a teenager and only ever worked as like a waitress in the diner that my grandfather owns, and she can't understand how this might be a career. Like this is a woman with zero career experience who's like, that's nothing.
That sounds like every girl that I've talked to recently. They're like, oh no, but what's your real job? And I'm like, oh no, that's all I do.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and I think they probably assume that I live in like a halfway house, with a bunch of crazy people.
Have you ever noticed this? Is that you will tell somebody it's like your full-time job, and then they are one of two things: extremely impressed, but like disproportionately impressed, where they assume you're like really rich, or that you're like homeless.
100%.
Yeah,
there's no middle ground. That's why when they find out that I live on the Upper East Side, they're like, "Oh, you have a career." And I'm like, yeah. No, it's going. That was like when, remember I told you the girl that we've been hooking up. She didn't even know. She knew I did stand up, but it was never like, she didn't care. Yeah. You know what I mean? So she like never saw me do stand up. And then I was in Philly. Well, we were in Philly. Yeah, you were at the show. And then after that show, she like looked at me differently. She's like, oh, you're actually good at this.
That's a real thing for sure.
And then like people coming up after the show, taking pictures. She was like, oh, you actually... You're not just some guy who I have sex with that makes weird jokes, you know, or whatever the fuck you do.
Have you ever thought this is that your personality is justified by that you're a stand-up comedian, entertainer? Because I think like if I'm
what do you mean?
I guess what I mean is like I always felt like a weirder dude. Like I always felt like I didn't like completely click in with.
Yeah, you're
other
like me,
people.
where you drew as a kid.
Yeah, I drew.
I was drawing.
I was mostly drawing, just alone by myself, watching cartoons, reading comics, being alone. And then and even like the jokes I would make when I would be with people, I always felt like I'm like just on a different axis. And then as I got older, and I saw the way people saw me after they'd seen me on stage, it was as if they went, oh,
yeah, it makes sense now.
Okay, it's okay to be that guy and say those jokes in front of people and at this dinner and whatever. And they go like, oh, it's all coming from this like thing that needed a context of the stage. Because without that, you're just like misbehaving.
Weird guy. Yeah, you're a weird guy. And also, if you meet people from another country where stand-up is not a thing, you're still a weird guy. Because I remember, I can't tell you how many times with my ex, like, I would be at the table, we'd all be eating, and I'd make a joke. Yeah. And American humor just doesn't fucking go. Right. And I would just bomb hard in front of her family. And then I'd have to just pretend that was just my honest opinion. Yep. Because you're like, I can't be like, oh, this joke bombed. So now this is just who I am. Right. This joke is my real thoughts. Because I can't face the fact that and my ex would watch me sweat. Oh. It hurt. Oh,
that's dude. So my girl's family she's from another country, and so her parents like don't speak. I mean, her dad speaks English, but her parents like generally don't speak like fluent English. And I haven't met them in person yet. And my biggest fear is that because I'll do this when I meet somebody, or if I have like if I'm talking to like a casting director or like some career thing, or I'm meeting someone for the first time, I kind of remind myself like, oh, just go in and like be yourself and don't be scared to make a joke that you would make with other people, because then the real you will come out and they'll see that you're comfortable. So I keep envisioning this situation where like I'm like meeting her parents at the airport or something, and they're just some joke that comes to me like, and it's like kind of crass, and then I make it and they're not comfortable with me being comfortable, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? What do you mean this bag is bigger than my, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, that hurts. It hurts.
What's your worst real life bomb?
Oh, it's not even a real life bomb. It was my ex, one of her relatives decided to show everyone my stand-up while I was there, and then I watched only like half of them laugh, and I had to sit there and bomb via Instagram in person, and it hurt so bad because where it's at is hibachi place, and there's just this guy throwing rice around, and I'm just fucking sweating.
It's in front of another guy's talent.
I wanted to throw myself into the flames so badly. Because I remember just being like, oh, no. I'm like, I was like, I had to leave and go to the bathroom and like throw water on my face because it hurt so bad.
That is a rough one. Because that's you. Here's the thing. Even if it's you crushing in the video, if they don't laugh
Everyone's laughing in that room, but not the room that I'm in currently.
Dude, I'll get YouTube comments where they're like, joke bombed. I'm like, that's a video proof of it working. I wouldn't have shared it. And then people will be like, joke bombed, you suck. I'm like, But that's awful because it's them not laughing at it turns you in the video into you bombing, and then you in real life gotta be there and bomb again. And there's a guy like doing sword tricks in front of you.
I actually saw the funniest comment, and it was on your stand-up video, and I wanted to like it because it was so mean.
I'm mad that you did.
Because you made a joke in it about you being jacked, and some guy went, "You're not jacked, not funny, and you're gay."
Okay, well, first
I wanted to like it from every one of my accounts.
You know what's crazy? I also saw that comment, and it got like 13 likes. And I was like,
I was 10 of them. That guy fucking
openly
crushed
from
you.
your account. Dude, I saw that, and I had to like, and dude, I get comments like that, sometimes more creative ones that are actually like a good joke, and I just respond positively to all of them, because I'm like, yeah. Here's the thing. If you watch a video and you have a reaction to it emotionally, and then you decide to comment on it, you might genuinely hate what you're seeing and have a funny way to voice that and be right. You might be right. Like, as far as that guy's concerned, he's not right. Like, I mean, like...
No, I agree with him wholeheartedly.
Am I gay? Oh, well, we're only one episode in.
Are you jacked? No.
Definitely. Definitely. And I'm more jacked than you. You're soft. You're not cool at all. And you're not a good guy. You're a mean guy.
Well, that's fair.
No, you're actually one of the nicest guys I know.
Imagine the rest of the episode, I'm just like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, but there's like a certain level of just like leanness.
She's like, what the fuck is wrong with that?
There's an engineer in the studio right now that is like, what did we book today? I'll tell you what you booked. You booked a real man. A real man whose masculinity extends to all genders. Don't do it when I'm in the middle.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
What was your worst bomb person?
Can it be one that's like embarrassing that's pre-stand-up?
Sure.
This is really bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is genuinely mortifying to me. And my only reason I'm sharing it is because I think it'll help me get over it. I'm not over this.
Okay.
When I was in like 7th or 8th grade, I started playing football. My older brother was like captain of all his football teams. Like, he was a true Chad.
And you're good looking. The one that looks like the good looking version of you?
The one that is shorter than me.
But better looking and jacked and...
The one he's kind of like, I would say he's like a good-looking you in a lot of ways.
No.
Yeah.
He actually looks like if me and you did the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance. Yeah.
I wish.
That's not important. Better looking brother. Go on.
Equally good-looking brother.
And go.
So when I was a kid, and this is another reason Dragon Ball is huge, because it was all about training. Like, that's an important show because it tells kids, like, you can get better at things. So every night I would do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups before I went to bed. And I guess like a couple months in, I had started like seeing some tiny little like results.
Yeah.
And so I get up from the ground after doing push-ups, and I'm like drenched in sweat. And we lived at my grandma's house, and my brother's bedroom, if the door was open and he was standing in front of his mirror, he could see in to me standing in front of my mirror, but I couldn't see him. So it was like a perfect vantage point to just catch me in vulnerable moments as an 8th grader. And all he had to do was just open his door a crack, and then it was just like, phew. So I get up from the ground, dude. This is so embarrassing. I get up from the ground, and you ever like you're doing dishes, so you just sing. So I sing a lot when I'm
I'll humor you.
Everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sings. Everybody sings. So I get up from the ground, and I'm like looking in the mirror, and I have a pump, and so I have like just like the beginning of a 4-pack coming through, and I don't know why, dude. I don't know why. And if I could go travel back in time, I would in that moment, because this person is very much there still. I get up from the ground, I look in the mirror, and I'm like looking at my body like I'm Pit and Fight Club, dude. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, and I literally just have like 2 little lines, and I look at the mirror, and I start singing to myself. I go, I got a 4-pack. That's not it. First verse is, I got a 4-pack. Working for a 6-pack. And I want to be clear, the way that I just sang it was like performed, so it was like a little bit funnier. The real thing was like gut-wrenchingly embarrassing.
Oh, you're going like trying to be on American Idol.
I was like Aretha Franklin, dude. I was like, I got a 4-pack. But bitchly, and like I believed it. And my older brother, dude, literally just like cut to film style, like cut to him in his mirror, so I'm seeing his face in the mirror go, what the fuck? And then he screamed at me, and I swear to God, dude, like I physically felt my chest cavity break. It destroyed me. And then I had to go to sleep that night going like, why was I singing? Why would I sing that?
Dude, oh fuck.
I can feel the embarrassment when I think about that.
I had something like that happen. I didn't think you meant like that kind of bomb. So when I stopped wrestling, so right after I stopped wrestling, I started like lifting weights for real because I was able to actually eat food.
It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and that's why I gained a lot of mass fast. And so I remember I started lifting, and like because like when you first start lifting, you start getting like gains, and you like get all excited about it. And like I remember like a couple people in the gym were like giving me like comments, like, and like it started getting to my head a little bit. Yeah. And I remember one day I'm leaving the gym, I have a good pump, and I look around, I don't see anybody, but like someone had a van window, like I was looking in the van, and it was like the perfect level to like flex in the mirror. So I'm just like sitting there, I'm flexing, I'm posing, I'm like doing like the most muscular. And I remember as I go like this, the window goes down, and the guy goes, can you not?
Bro.
And I was just sitting there like, and I go, I'm sorry.
Still flexing? Dude, that's such a cinematic embarrassment. Like, there's no way that that's not in a sitcom or something. That's so perfect. You know what's crazy about that? That has happened to me. I have done that.
Yeah?
Yeah, just look at myself.
Well, it's the tinted windows because I couldn't see shit. So I'm just flexing on this guy and I'm just going like,
it's a kidnapper for like Chad pedophiles. Like he just slides it over and tosses you in.
I just remember going, can you not? Can you not? Because I remember just hearing, when you hear that it going down, and it's here, and he goes, can you not? And then he rolled it back up as if I didn't mean shit, and I'm like, I'm gonna get out of here.
Dude, that's a brutal one, because it's also when it comes from a stranger and they embarrass you, you feel like they know you at that point, because you can't embarrass them, a stranger, you don't care. But when they get you like right in the solar plexus,
and when you're feeling out before that, like everyone in the gym's like, oh, you putting on size, and then this guy just like, get out of my fucking mirror.
Right, because that's the other thing. If it was a tiny dude, he's not even opening the window. But a dude who sized you up through the window and went, this guy's a bitch. Hey, get out of here.
That shit killed me. Yeah. And after that, I was always scared to flex in any mirrors. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the gym and like after the workout. So like it's good to like after your workout to flex not it actually is good for muscle development.
Oh yeah.
And that's why Arnold would do like 15-minute posing sessions after the workouts. And so after some workouts, like I'll go in the bathroom and start like posing in the mirror and stuff like that. And I can't tell you how many times someone's walked in and I've gone like this and gone like like pretending I'm getting something off me.
Yes, dude. Oh my God. I have a keen example of this. I'm at Impact Zone in Jersey, which is gym by where I grew up, and this was like 2 summers ago. Kid I went to high school with, his name is Jeremy Salad. I hadn't seen him since high school, so it's like 6, 7, 8 years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the mirror, just going to town, just flexing, posing, and I have my phone set up front-facing camera to record it so that I can like look at the After Effects. And so he walks in and he said something more embarrassing for me than an insult. He sees me, see him, see me in the mirror, and then sees that I'm recording it. And he looks at me. I can see that he wants to insult me, and then looks at me, notices I'm filming, and goes, "Looking big, dude." And I was just, dude, it was like I just popped and deflated into a little empty balloon man. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, just trying to like work out everyone." I think about him all the time now.
I've had a couple of situations, because, when you lift, like, you want people to think you're on steroids. And like, I don't. When someone's like, "Oh, you look like you're on steroids," like, there's a part of me that goes, "Oh, how dare they?" But then there's another part where if they didn't, I'd go, "What the fuck? What do you mean?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, that's also the kind of, like, the body that you built is the kind of, like, you're just the kind of build and big that somebody would be like, "That guy juices." Mm-hmm. Right. So I think that kind of comes with the territory. Well, I think people see me and they just go like, "He's."
I was so worried you were gonna be like he's big, but he doesn't like juice. And I was going to throw this drink across the table.
I mean, you're clearly cheating, and that's for some people. Like, because I guess the difference would be like I'm like a Dragon Ball Z character.
Well, when they start
for
testing
me, it's
for
about
comedy, then I'll be worried.
Well,
he popped for trend.
Dude, would you do steroids if they made you funnier?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's where my pride kicks in, and I'm like, nah.
Like, if they made me jacked and funnier.
Just like it's comedy steroids.
Oh, no. But like, if Trent also made me better at stand-up, I'd be like, oh yeah, on it all year round. I also won't take steroids again unless I've given myself certain like ways that I'm like, this is like, if and these are the two things that will happen. Either I get a role as Wolverine and I'm taking Trent,
right, or
I get a role as Vegeta. I'm taking Trent. That being said, I've taken Trent one time in my whole life, and it was fucking awesome. You feel, they call it God's nectar. You feel like a god, but you're also kind of like, if it would be like a Greek god, where you're like the god of being a cunt to everybody around you, because you're such a fucking asshole on it. It's the only steroid that actually makes you a fucking dick. But you look so fucking good on it.
Dude, so this is, and I've seen like peak photos of you during that time. It is unreal. Like, you actually look like carved from fucking granite.
Yeah. I'm like 196 right now. I was like 21 years old and I weighed like 210 shredded.
Dude, there were a couple kids in my high school. So at this point, we're talking like 17 dudes that like the dudes you grew up with, like these two Italian kids that were just juice monkeys from like 16 on. And bro, I think about them now, and I'm like, oh, that's a body that anyone would kill for. And these kids, dude, because when you think about people in your past, you just remember them at what age you are now.
Yeah.
This dude, what the hell was his name, bro? He was walking around capable of deleting every adult in the school at any moment. He never did work. He never did homework. And I think they just passed him because they're like, what are we going to do
about it? Yeah.
A freak.
Yeah, if we fail him, he's gonna fuck me up.
He was hairless and like, man, he woke some things up in me.
Yeah, I'm a little. Don't look under the table,
dude. But what I was gonna say is like, for me, a big part of lifting and like trying to develop an aesthetic body is what that does for how I feel about myself. Of course, right? There's like mental health benefits. But also then just looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, oh, I'm changing something, like that feels cool to know that like I've built that, is a huge pride, ego boost, all that stuff, some unhealthy, some not. But what that would do to me on trend would make me feel good.
Yeah.
But I wonder if how much of a dick it could make me
Mhm.
would balance out, or like where I like. Did you feel like people would describe you as a nice guy or a good guy?
On it,
Yeah.
I thought everybody thought I was fucking awesome. When you're on it, so when you're on it, it's like the movie Fight Club. You're both Tyler Durden and Edward Norton's character. Like in your head, you're just like, oh, I'm just doing fine. You know,
Right.
everything's awesome. And like, there's something weird about. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it gives off pheromones, but like, I was like doing so much better, like attracting girls that like I wouldn't have had a chance of before. It was weird.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just all mental. Maybe like the perfect way to describe it is like, you ever seen Spider-Man 3?
Yep.
When he starts walking around all douchey, that's you.
Yeah.
And maybe you're pulling just because you have so much confidence that people are like, why is he so confident? That's crazy.
I think a jacked guy gets less attraction from women in a vacuum than a newly jacked guy. One, even if the people don't already know you, they can sense how you feel about yourself. And the people that do know you see you with new eyes. I remember when I like first started taking working out seriously and like got in good shape and went to go to a spot downtown, and a comic I hadn't seen in years like came up to me and he hugged me different. Like he was like it was like pride, like he was like proud of me. He was like, "Oh my god, dude!" And then he just kind of does that thing where he looks back, and you know that you've made changes to your body when the first thing someone says about you is that. When they don't even go hi, they're like, "You look."
Yeah.
And then he told another comedian, he was like, "You think Nick Callas got jacked?" And then that guy, Abby Roberts, the owner of this podcast studio, had told me that this other comic said that about me. And it's funny, man. Like, compliments from women feel good. Compliments from a guy
so
that
good.
You respect, especially a comedian, especially if they're like in shape and the kind of guy that like you just on a base level respect, that shit'll make you soar.
Yeah, I'll never forget, there was a dude that I worked with when I worked at a deli back in the day, and he was fucking super jacked, and I started getting, it was actually when I was on Trend, and I started, because you pack on muscle fast. And I remember at one point, because it was like the deli counter, like he had to like move around me. He goes, he's like, damn, you got so big, I gotta pack my bags before I walk around you. And like that compliment fucking stuck with me for so long. Where I'm like, oh shit, it's working, you know. Speaking of, I think we have to bring up the body thing.
Yes, 100%.
So I'm gonna bring it up right now.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll filibuster. Guys, if you don't already know, Nikki and I are touring stand-up comedians. Do you have it? Okay, that's the end of that.
And those are our dates. We have.
Anyways, I was 13 when I was locked in the.
So, just recently, the president. I just spit when I said that.
The president.
The president.
Which one?
Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump.
John. What the fuck did you just say?
Donald
Yeah.
Trump.
So, this was sent to the White House press secretary. He just did his physical, and I don't know if you've seen his vitals.
I have seen the results.
So I'm gonna read the vitals. Okay.
Yes.
Age: 78 years and 10 months. That's so weird to count age like that.
It is weird.
That's like how a 7-year-old count. He's like, I'm 7 3/4.
That's like someone's pregnant with Trump now, and they're like, he's 78 and 3 months.
Height: 75 inches. I don't know what that is.
It's divided by 12. I could go to my phone, but I just have this feeling that if I
think it's
wait
6'3".
long enough, you'll say it, and then I'll say it exactly after you, and then you'll think I thought
I think it's 6'3". So 78, 6'3".
6'3", dude. Chad.
It's a big boy.
Chad.
Weight: 224 pounds.
It's crazy that if you read those same stats and don't say the name, and I'll tell you the name that comes to mind.
I'll get you soon. Resting heart rate: 62 beats per minute.
Is that good?
Phenomenal.
Really?
Phenomenal. That is like a top. That's like athlete level.
That's like a sleeping tiger.
So like the best swimmers are in like the 50s and sometimes high 40s, and Trump is barely above Michael Phelps. And Trump drinks like 47 cans of Diet Coke a day. He has a Diet Coke button at his desk.
That's that's awesome.
Shocking.
You just treat the presidency like a kid who's running for student council. He's like, I'm gonna make the fountains Diet Coke.
And I need to pull up one more because it came off of a different stat.
What was it? Punching speed?
Okay, and 4% body fat.
Okay. Okay.
Now, in post, we're going to pull up a picture of Trump. I'm going to show you a picture that we got.
Dude, you cannot buy lean ground beef with 4% fat.
So what I just described at 6'3", 224 pounds at 4% body fat. You would have thought, oh, he must be talking about former 8-time Mr. Olympia Chris Bumstead.
Right.
Nope, I am talking about Donald Trump. That's fucking crazy,
dude. Gotham's in trouble. The gall to just full send 4% body fat.
I want his doctor so bad to lie about all my stats all the time.
You know what it's like? It's
gonna say 6'8". Can we just real fast? Can we just pull back for 1 second?
Cook.
I right now am at maybe 15% body fat.
I'm rocking like 11.
That means that Donald Trump is 11% leaner, lower body fat than I am.
Right.
Which is crazy. So, put it this way. Most professional bodybuilders on competition day, just for that day,
right,
are at 4% body fat. Just so you know, 4% is barely livable level. Like,
right.
If you went any lower, you die. That would mean that Donald Trump is so shredded that if he loses any more weight, he dies.
I think they might have taken the measurements of the piece of his ear that got shut off. Dude, 4% body fat is like if there's a strong gust of wind, your skin cracks open.
I'm going to show you a picture of what that actually looks like.
Do you want me to airdrop you one of me?
This is a picture of what that height, that weight, that body fat. No, actually, you know what? He might not be 4% body fat in this picture because it's after they actually
after he won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he already ate. He's already
had a
carved
piece
up.
Of pie.
So
his body fat's so low he turned into a black guy.
Donald Trump is leaner and has a lower body fat percentage and slightly taller and formerly known as the best physique of all time, Chris Bumstead. Now currently replaced by Donald J. Trump.
I mean,
the nerve. I don't care where you stand politically. That's crazy.
It's beyond. To me, the crazy part about it is going, don't edit this from what I have here. Put it out.
Yeah.
Also, you know what's crazy about that? What other president were we getting a physical on? Like, why? What president was like, they got to know my body fat percentage? They have to know it? Yeah, lie about it. They have to know what I want them to know.
I would kill for Taft's body fat percentage. The guy who died, the guy who got stuck in a bathtub.
It was 100%. It was 140%. The other 40% was the bathtub.
The only thing that Donald Trump does have that Chris Bumstead has is the pre-contest tan.
He is tan, dude.
He has the bodybuilder tan with nothing else. It's crazy.
He looks like if you wrapped Mike O'Hearn's skin in Mike O'Hearn.
So yeah, he's built like Majin Buu. Like,
he is, dude. He is.
He has the stats of Super Buu, but the actual build of Majin Buu, which is crazy. So if we were to do an actual, like, let's just say Donald Trump comes to me and he goes, I want coaching.
Right.
Let's just do a stat check.
Yeah. Let's provide the stack for.
So here's what I would do. So I'd look at him. He says he's 6'3". That's probably him in his prime. He's probably down to like 6'2", 6'1". Weight 224. The only way he weighs 224 is if he has no muscle and no bones. If he had no muscle and no bones, I'd go maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
But there's not a chance in the world that he's over 6 feet tall and doesn't weigh closer to 300 pounds.
With that just general appearance, there's no way, dude. even if you told me that he was like wearing a backpack on the front with his sweatshirt underneath it, I would still be like, no chance.
Not a chance. No. He also, if I'm being, and I'm not trying to be funny, if I'm being generous, I'm saying 40% body fat. Generous.
Let me see that picture again.
High 30s, closer to 40%
in
body fat.
That picture, that's 40%, dude.
Yeah.
He looks like a voluptuous woman.
Maybe
from the
that's what happened.
times.
Maybe the doctor tried to type in 4D. And you know when you're trying to punch something in and the zero just keeps on deleting, you're like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, like I had a sticky O. That's it. That's it.
Like, for him to get down to that, first off, he'd have to grow. That's not going to happen. He would have to be in a 500 calorie a day deficit. He would lose a pound of body fat a week, because that equals out to 3,000. Why don't you silence that? Is that your diabetes?
Yeah, it's my diabetes is going off.
Whoops.
Oh no, it's not the diabetes one. I have one that tells me like whether.
So your birth control?
No, you know what it is, dude. It's this app. It's called Nicky Status, and it tells me if you're being a little bitch or not. And right now it's just going.
I'm just buzzing. I'm just buzzing.
Going crazy on you. Sorry. And we're golden. So repeat.
Where was I?
You were saying that.
So at 3,500 calories per week, he'd be losing a pound of body fat per week. He would have to do that for the rest of his life and 7 more years to get to that body fat percentage.
By the way, get to the body of like Biden.
Yeah. And we'd have to run some gear.
Right.
So he'd have to be on some TRT.
Right.
I would give him some, I am not a doctor, but I would give him some retatrutide.
Wait. You're not a doctor?
Well,
retatrutide.
Did I tell you that girl wanted me to dress up as a doctor in roleplay? And I was like, what the fuck kind of doctor do you think I'd be? You think I'm prescribing TRT? You want me in a lab coat? Hey,
she's trying to like get intimate, but you take it too seriously, and you're like, you need to be squat thrusting.
What kind of fucking sleeveless fucking lab
fully
coat?
Are, and honestly, I kind of am too. The type of dude that if like a girl gave you a compliment about your body when you're pillow talking, the next hour and a half of that conversation is about fitness, and no sex is happening.
Going into it.
100%.
Going into it, and she's gonna feel hurt afterwards because I'm gonna give her the facts. Here's what you really got to work on, if I'm being honest with you.
You come off like Luke Belmar.
Did I tell you that, like, me and this girl, after we hooked up, she was like talking to me about fitness, and because I guess she wants to get into coaching and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, what's like your workout program right now? And she told me. And she was like just laying there all cutesy, and I just laughed in her face because it was so bad. And I was like, "There's no way." And I'm like, "You want?" And then she's like, "You didn't have to be such a fucking dick." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, but like, if you want to get in this professionally, you are." And then
yeah,
because girls that you can't just do legs every day.
No,
they're trying to make up for. You know, I've realized girls train legs as often as men train arms.
So funny, dude.
Like that's how you know we're yin and yang, because if you put us together, we make someone who does full body.
We got to make T-shirts that are yin and yang, and the guy is just basically the genie
upper body
from Aladdin. That's so true. I mean, dude, the other thing too, and not to be all like social scientists here, but like it does reveal something culturally about like where we assume each other's value is. Like we all think a guy with like chest, shoulders is attractive, and like guys want girls with like nice legs and butt. I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I feel like I've been
off my phone.
I feel like I've been no, keep that. Save it as your background. Go on your next date like that.
My motivation, so I can get to 6'3", 224 with 4% body fat.
So here's what I wanted to ask you: how would you define Chad?
I think of it a little bit like. I'm just going to sidestep for a second because I was looking at when I got onto an incel message board. I wanted to see what they were about. And did you know they do incel artwork? Yeah. And they it's like very like cucky because it's like they show pictures of them, like a drawing of themselves and then a picture of the girl that they wish they were with. And they're always getting like dragged away by a guy that looks so much like me.
Wait. What?
Yeah, and it'll be like a picture of like the Chad, and he'll have like, remember how I used to do my hair with like the like that, and he's like wearing a sleeveless shirt, and he's like standing there like, and it'll say like all statistics about like the nerdy guy, and then the statistics about him. It was weird, man. I got on there and it's weird.
That is weird.
And like I was reading some of their messages, like because on the forum, and like one guy, it made me so sad. This guy, he tried talking to a girl today, and
don't do that.
well, that's what happened. So like they all post their like fails, and like this guy goes, I've been going to this girl's register all the time because I have a huge crush on her, and today I finally got the nerve to say hi to her, and I said hi, and she didn't hear me, and she went, what? And I was like, hi, and she's like, oh, hi, and then he's like, and then I just said, can I get your number? And he goes, she obviously lied that she had a boyfriend, and he goes, because I looked at all her social media already. And I'm like, oh, that's so creepy.
That is.
And then everyone on there was like, you're a fucking loser. Like, why would you even think that you could talk to a girl? You're ugly. Don't forget it. And I was like, that sucks.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm almost glad that that's the reaction he got. Because, first of all, dude, forget, like, being funny or interesting or, like, dressing well. You gotta raise your voice. If you say hi and she goes, what? Do you know how hard it is to mistake a sound for not hi? Like, what? You don't know him. He's a stranger and he made a noise. You're probably gonna assume it's hi. And he was like, and she went, what? What are you saying to me?
Hunk.
And then he went, hi. And then she went, okay. And then he went, can I get your number? And then ran away and then got online and was like, no. Like, yeah, dude, you deserve to be bullied a little bit.
And like they want to wipe out the Chads, which is crazy.
Yeah, come and try me, dude.
It really bothers me because you're fine, but like me, I'm fucked because it looks like people made fan art of me in these pictures. Like it's just a guy with a sleeveless shirt with his hair done the exact way I used to do my hair.
Yeah.
And just describing me except for the over 6 feet part, which I'm like, hopefully that's where they spare my life.
You're getting taller.
I'm trying. I've been doing
Do you think
hangs.
about it?
I've been doing.
You did. We were in Philly working out, and you were like, "You ever do this?"
Shut up.
You went, "You ever do this?" And then after, I think you were
Shut
curling, and then you went up and you hung, and I had to grab the ladder for you so you could get on the bar. And then,
My feet were.
and I looked at you and I went, "No, I never do that because I'm over 6 foot."
No, I've been doing that from my back. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not because my friend said he grew 2 inches.
For real?
That's what he says. He looks taller.
Come on, bud.
He looks taller.
Come on, bud.
I'm telling you, man.
Who's your friend? Give me a name.
His name's Billy.
Billy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Billy Imagination? What's his
Bill
name?
Glass.
Bill Glass.
Yeah, you don't know him.
Oh.
He does comedy at a different state.
He does comedy in Canada. He's from Toronto. He got JFL this year because of the height.
Could you imagine now you see JFL Bill Glass?
And he's so tall.
Just jacked. He does comedy hanging.
Yeah. Okay, dude. Who's your Chad of the week?
Ooh. I'd have to say Donald J. Trump at that body
With
fat
that body
percentage.
fat, if that's true?
No, if I'm going Chad of the week, I'm going. Ooh, I didn't even think about this. I'll let you go first.
Okay. My pick for Chad of the week is a retrospective pick, and it is Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Why?
Here's why. Everybody thinks Courage the Cowardly Dog is a little scaredy cat. He's not. Being brave, a.k.a. being Chad, is about being scared and then doing it anyway. Every episode starts with something happening to Muriel, Courage's owner / grandma mom figure. She gets, taken by an alien. She gets, swallowed by a water demon, whatever it is. And then Courage finds a way. He just gets on the computer, Googles it, Googles a dick to him, and then he goes, I'll figure it out. You remember in Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Oh, I thought he Googled the dick.
He Googles a dick.
I was like, I don't remember that in the episode. What?
No, remember the computer in Courage the Cowardly Dog? He'd be like, how do I save Muriel? Yeah. And then the computer would be like, why don't you? Go fuck yourself. And then Courage goes and finds a way to rescue her, even though her bum-ass husband is sitting in an armchair trying to steal DirecTV.
You're right.
Courage is aptly named. He's someone we should all aspire to be like. Even though
I didn't
scared.
know it could be non-human. If I'm going if it could be anybody, I'm going Honey Badger.
Who's that?
It's just an animal.
Oh, just any honey badger?
Any honey badger.
Okay,
This
go
is
on.
why. Hear me out.
Yep.
The most badass. So I've been talking about this on every date I've gone on. Maybe I am autistic. I spent 30 minutes talking about honey badgers. Some girl.
Maybe, dude.
But then when she was telling me about the animals she likes, I was like, oh shit, we're both autistic. This is sick. So I went on this deep dive of honey badgers, and honey badgers are actually one of the most badass pound for pound animals in the world. So they're smaller than a wolverine, and I think they grow to maybe like 20 pounds, but they have skin like this thick made of basically rubber that's almost impenetrable. So they're like little tanks. So I watched a video of one honey badger scaring off 5 lions, and because it's so difficult for them to actually take, like for a lion could kill one, but it would just be so much work, and they're so fucking vicious that like, and so they're vicious like because to actually penetrate their skin is almost impossible. Like you'll see one that just gets hit by a porcupine and just walks off like, and what, bro? Like you'll like flex and be like, what? You know, like that they if they're not they don't die from poison. So when like a snake, like a cobra bites them, they just take a nap, wake up, and just start fighting again.
Wow.
It's badass as fuck.
It's, you know, your friend growing up, they'd be like, my powers have every power. That's a
honey badger. Yeah. They're like, put it this way, if honey badgers were like the size of grizzly bears, they would be the apex predator in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, wolverines are the same way. Like, any of those animals that are, like, smaller rodents that are just vicious and, like, pack a punch for being so tiny, dude, they're so cool.
Well, wolverines and honey badgers are, like, cousins of each other.
Yeah.
And wolverines are bigger. I don't know which one wins in a fight. It would actually be tough to say because honey badgers have the thick skin that's almost impenetrable. Wolverines are a little bit larger. And they're just as mean and vicious. Like there's actually a story, I haven't seen the video, they say there's a video of a wolverine that in a zoo enclosure killed a polar bear on a 1v1. Like just caught him by the throat and just fucking ripped it out.
Dude, how fun would it be? Because I'm just listening to you, the way you talk about animals, and it's as if you're a UFC fight announcer, like you're running stats on them. Like, you're like, he's weighing in. How fun would it be? Because there was a show in Japan that like videos of it had leaked in like early YouTube, and I don't know if it was like a proper televised program or just some like thing that a guy was doing and recording. But he would take Animal Fight Club. So it would be like mountain lion versus tiger, and they would just like force them to go at it. Imagine like just the Joe Rogan meme would be like, like watching two animals go at it.
There is people who do that with bugs. I think it's because we just don't give a fuck. Like bugs are just like, hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But like they still have Fight Club videos, which is crazy.
Damn.
Like crickets fighting fucking scorpions and shit.
That's cool.
Which is how you know that I have a sleep disorder because I was watching that at like 3 a.m. last night, and there's something wrong with my brain where I go, well, I have to finish watching this. I can't just go to bed and not know who wins.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what's wrong. Like that happens to me every night.
Oh, you know what happened to me?
Do you know how much I know about whales for no reason?
It's not for no reason. We luckily have the one career where if you can find something funny about whales,
that's true.
Then it's useful.
Like whales, did you know they don't stay underwater. They have to come up every 15 minutes to breathe.
Yeah, you know they're not fish.
Dolphins are the same shit.
Yeah, they're mammals.
Yeah, they used to walk on land.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't know that. I could see on your face that you didn't actually know that.
You didn't know that the dolphins and whales were mammals? They have blowholes, dude. They gotta breathe. What do you think that's for?
I don't know. Looks.
Looks. Just other whales are going. He would look so much better
just
with like
looks,
a hole.
You know, just fucking come up and just show off
you
a little
just
bit.
thought that was a upside down butthole?
I don't know. Like a pee. I don't know. But I found that out one night, and I'm like, when am I gonna get to use this information? Never.
You did it.
I did it.
There you go.
I did it. So we're gonna do a little segment. This one is gonna be how chat are you? So you're gonna have $9 to spend. So in 3 rounds. So you're gonna have to choose your money wisely. So first round, what is your gym routine? For 1 point, for 1 point, just cardio. 2 points, you do the gym 1 to 2 days a week. 3 points, 4 to 5 days a week.
Oh, there's no 3 days a week?
Nope.
For the routine, ritual, cognitive benefits, spiritual element of the practice and flexibility with.
Actually, you know what? Just for the sake, we'll make 3 points is 3 days a week.
Okay.
4 points, 4 to 5 days a week.
This is a toss-up for me, and I want to say 3 because that's where I've been lately, and I just.
And you like looking like that? Okay.
Well,
that's cool.
Well, a really, really strong guy like me doesn't need to go to the gym as much because you're trying to get stronger. I'm strong enough, so 3 is fine.
Okay. So that is you have $6 left.
How's your shoulder?
My shoulder?
Yeah, from that time you tried to lift the weight.
Oh, when I benched 405 pounds for 4 reps?
No, that wasn't it. It was lower.
Was it?
Yeah, well, because you can't add up the weight over the reps. It's the one time you do it.
Well, that's crazy because we have it on film.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to edit it in right there.
Yeah.
Your haircut. You, for 1 point, you have no hair. 2 points, mullet. 3 points, Brad Pitt in Fury. 4 points, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Prime.
JTT Prime.
Okay, so you've spent $7 of your $9.
Yeah, to be myself exactly so far.
Okay, the last one, self-defense. For 1 point,
Ooh.
you call 911 whenever something goes wrong. For 2 points, your girlfriend fights all your battles.
Ooh, how is that? That should be below 911.
Nope. 3, top tier boxing.
Okay.
4, top tier grappling.
See, if I choose grappling, it's because I think I'm going to or want to get in fights, because that's the most practical, effective answer.
But you also only have $2 to spare.
Okay, so you're telling me that the best thing I can do is call my girlfriend, and she has to physically fight my fights for me?
Or call 911. Anytime anything goes wrong. Anything.
That's rough.
Even the smallest inconvenience.
I mean, I'll just, and I have to be like, babe, you got to come handle this.
Yeah.
There's no shot. I'm like, fuck, dude. No, I can't be that.
Any inconvenience, you call 911.
I'll go with any inconvenience. I call 911 because eventually they're gonna go they'll block me, and then I'll just have to learn how to fight my own.
They can't do that. Nope.
Can I become a cop?
Nope. Not even if no. Actually, fine. You can become a cop, but whenever you get called, you have to call another bigger, stronger cop.
Damn, I feel like you definitely rigged this, because the other option was I'm a really strong jujitsu guy with no hair and lifts every that's you're basically made it do you want to be me or you?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I would have been. There's just not enough dollars for all the points that I am.
Right. Yeah. Well.
So what's your number?
I guess I'm. You just can't put me on film saying I'm calling the cops. It's not gonna happen. It won't happen.
So your girl does all your battles for you.
Dude, my girl's tough.
Good. She better be. She's fighting all your battles.
Well, she would be fighting some hard fights though, because when you know what happens is when I walk in a room, everybody wants to fight the biggest guy, and so they're gonna be coming at me left and right.
Why would they?
Because you feel safe when you're around me, right?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so strong and large.
There you go.
You're not very tall, but very strong. And a great fighter.
If you cloned yourself, stood on top of your shoulders, I would still pat you on the head and say, "Good job, little Nicky." You
look like if someone rolled me out with a pizza. Or you could just say, "I look like a piano fell on your head."
You look like I climbed out of a dryer and then just worked in a local pizzeria for the rest of my life.
You look like me if I went through a black hole and got spaghettified.
You look like me if a black hole collapsed around me.
You look like me in my worst nightmare.
You look like me if you looked like what you wish you looked like.
You look like me if I got AIDS and then stopped working out. And just gave up.
You look like me if someone dropped me into Photoshop, hit Command T, and then shrank it.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Oh, man.
You were winning up till there, though. I'll give you that. The black hole one is
spaghettified?
It's good.
It's scientifically accurate, too.
Dude, I feel like I told everybody about when we were on the call with Callan, and I can't remember what it was. But I said, "Quick, does anybody around here look like a thumb?" And then you said, "Does anybody around here wiggle outside of a used car dealership?"
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a great one. We should have people you look like us. Like, write in what you think we look like.
Do I have time to tell my worst you look like story?
Yeah.
So I'm at the Comedy Store, and I'm just walking around, and this girl comes up to me, and she goes, "Oh my God, I love your stuff." And this is like before I even had any social media following. So I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. Thank you." And she's like, "Oh, I've seen you in New York." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah?" And I'm like, "Where?" And she's like, "The Comedy Cellar." And I'm like thinking like, you know, that was before I was past there, but I've done like a couple like spots in like the Fat Black Room. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy," you know? And then she's like, "It's so crazy." She's like, "Why aren't you on stage?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not on any shows tonight." She goes, "You're on the lineup." And I'm like, who do you think I am? She goes, "You're Jeff Ross, right?" And I went, why would you say that? And she's just like, you're not Jeff Ross? And it hurt me so bad that I literally was like, I was already in shape, and I was like, I need to get in better shape.
Oh, yeah.
And it hurt. That was one of the meanest things anyone's ever said to me in my life.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. No disrespect to Jeff Ross, but he looks like a microwaved mole.
Yeah.
I get some pretty rough ones, too, because the ones that people say to me, they'll pick a really good-looking person and then indirectly tell me that I look like them not as good-looking.
I did have a homeless guy give me one.
Yeah?
Yeah. He said, "I love your costume." And I had no idea what he was talking about. I was pumping gas, and he's like, "It looks good. And it's not Halloween or anything." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Triple H."
That's a good one.
And I'm just like, oh, this guy's trying to get money.
It's funny that he was like, "Oh, this guy looks like Triple H," but not enough that he thought you were Triple H.
But what was crazy is, what's a Triple H costume? Underwear and no other clothes?
Were you pumping gas naked?
Time to play the game. It made no sense, but it made my day. That was a good one.
Yeah. I used to get, especially like when I was like very new in stand-up and young, I would get, people would call out stuff related to Ashton Kutcher. And like I had like the hair, the flowy, like longer hair.
I could see
stuff.
that.
Like one time I was doing a spot at the comic strip and a guy yelled out, "How's Demi Moore?" And I'm like, that's such a specific way to heckle me.
That is specific.
That's like, why don't you just be like, "You look like that 70s show bitch," like, you know?
Yeah, not even Mila Kunis. Two people have gone, "Are you Ilya Taporia?" Which makes, here, I don't see it. He's my favorite fighter.
You guys could be arrested for the same crime, but I don't think you look like him.
You don't think so, right?
Yeah, I think it's
It's really gotten
You're also
my fucking.
bigger than him.
It's also, he would fuck me up so bad.
Not with that attitude.
With any attitude. That's El Matador.
If you could have unlimited money, but never leave your hometown, or travel anywhere in the world with no money to spend.
Well, I've already traveled with no money dating a flight attendant, which is fun. It's very fun. I do love traveling. Here's why I feel like it's easy for me to pick this, because my hometown is New York City. So to be...
No, you can't leave the Bronx, dude.
Oh, God.
Yeah. How much does that change it?
No, you didn't say borough.
Hometown. I didn't say state.
It's a city. I'm from New York City.
Yeah, okay, relax, Bronx. Relax.
So I could never leave the Bronx. I would just get robbed all the time.
Well, no, you have all... yes, exactly.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Or have no money. So am I like just like some vagrant wandering the world?
You have an apartment. Like you can have a sick penthouse. You just can't really leave it.
Can I afford food?
You're the richest man alive.
No, I'm talking about if I'm poor.
Oh, and traveling?
Yeah.
It's whatever you earn.
What do you mean?
Like you can like help a guy out with some...
What am I on OnlyFans? What is this earn thing?
That's where your mind goes.
What's the... So am I working in a different...
So it starts tomorrow. You can travel anywhere in the world, but you have no money. So you still got to figure out how to get there.
Wait, why would I choose that? That's crazy. That's such a easy choice, because like now I have to find flight If flight was free, then it makes it so much easier. But that's retarded.
Flight is free, but once you land, you gotta get an Uber. Like you gotta figure it out.
Ooh. I'm going. Oh man. I mean, I could just be like, just go to Brazil and just like get a job on the beach, which is pretty sick.
I think about that often. Where I'm like, why wouldn't I just go to somewhere tropical, walk into like 7-Eleven and be like, hey, I'll sweep for like $2 a day.
Dude,
just do push-ups on the beach.
Every time I've gone to Rio, I've just been like, this is where I was supposed to be born. It's so sick. You're like, not, it's like illegal to be over 15% body fat there. Yeah. Like everyone, like the bus stops had dumbbells and pull-up bars at the bus stops, and everyone's just super jacked, tan, and good looking. And I'm like, this is fucking
that's
heaven.
Why the people from there are the way they are. You know what America should have? Just books at the bus stop. Just books at the bus stop, dude, and a calculator.
Dude, this is a hard one. I think I'm going. How rich are we talking?
You get $50 million.
Going $50 million. I can't leave the Bronx. At least I got I got Yankee Stadium.
Sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm such a homebody, dude. I'm the home the whole time. Hometown. I'm not leaving my house.
I would just go to Yankee games a lot.
You want to see the pyramids? You throw it on the TV. I don't need to go anywhere.
It have to be more than $50 million, though.
I love drawing and watching movies enough that, like, if I had my family with me, I think I'm good.
I'm already thinking about, like, whatever girl you're with, they're going to nag, like, why can't you ever, like, take me anywhere? And
it was a wizard. I don't know what to tell you, babe.
It's just what the genie told me. This
he was
weird
very specific.
This weird Greek genie.
It was on a podcast 2 years ago. I didn't know it was real.
Okay, I have one for you. Would you rather your mom and your girlfriend switch bodies, and you have to hook up with one of them to get them to switch back? Do you hook up with your mom in your girlfriend's body, or your girlfriend in your mom's body?
That's tough, because on the one hand, it's like I finally get an opportunity to hook up with my mom.
Yep.
And then on the other hand, I hook up with my girlfriend, but I have to deal with my mom. That's a good question. I mean, I think
she's gonna be like, Nicholas.
Here's the thing, dude. If you say anything, because here's the thing, you can't. It's not like I'm doing it with my girlfriend. My mom's in her brain going like, by the way, honey, you didn't microwave the food and it stayed out and it was cold. And I asked you to refrigerate the microwave and I asked you to vacuum the cleaners or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, she's not like fucking me and saying that. You know, I'd just be like, quiet. You know what I mean? Like, so there's that. But also,
and they're gonna remember it afterwards.
They are gonna remember it.
100%.
Then the question really becomes, who would you rather never talk to for the rest of your life? Because I'm not going to Easter this weekend if that happened tomorrow, dude. I'll tell you that much. I feel like the answer that everybody wants you to say to like be safe is like, have sex with your girlfriend, because it's your girlfriend's body. That's the only weird part about it is like the body. But honestly, dude, like, I could close my eyes if it's my mom. Does my girlfriend in my mom's body sound like my mom?
Your girlfriend in your mom's body?
Like, does my girlfriend's voice come out?
Her personality does, but it's your mom's voice.
It's my mom's voice. My mom could trick me tomorrow then. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, now your mom has a French accent.
Yeah, that's, my mom's hot.
But in her voice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, uppercut to my mom, like, right away, just pow. You're not trying that on me, dog. I'm 32 years old.
So who you picking?
I'm picking my girlfriend with my mom's brain in it, dude.
Do you know who I would have picked?
Who would you pick?
I would have said, enjoy your new bodies. I never said you had to pick one. I just said they switched bodies.
You literally said
I said your girlfriend and your mom switched bodies, and to get them to switch back, you'd have to hook up with one of them. I didn't say you had to. You could have just.
What are you, Loki? Like, it's like your little. That's how you get off. You tricked me into banging my mom, you son of a bitch.
I'm Freud, baby.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
Okay,
I guess I'll just live the rest of my life now.
Here's one that doesn't have like a back door. No back door.
You didn't say anal. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No back door. Would you rather hook up with I was gonna say your dad. That's not nice.
Because I have to find him.
Would you rather hook up with a goat and no one knows about it, or not hook up with a goat, but everyone in the world thinks you did? Like you're just everybody in the world thinks you did.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, every time I masturbate, I hook up with a goat.
Okay.
Okay. So if I hook up with the goat and nobody knows about it, then obviously I get to live the rest of my life unencumbered by this awful true rumor about me, but I have to cope with the guilt
That you ruined some goat's life.
Or pleasured it successfully, right? Because then there's that.
It's a boy goat.
It makes no difference.
Okay.
Honestly, dude. Okay, when you say that people know what happened,
everyone,
dude, they know it's true.
Like whenever they say like, "Oh, it's the fucking goat fucking guy,"
but like, do they think it's like a rumor or they know that it's true?
They're like, yeah, like everyone is like, he did it.
Honestly, dude, the first thing I do is write like an 8-minute bit about it, and I'm selling out all over the country, and I'm just touring off, and I call the special the goat, and it's like already boom, there we go.
That's genius. That's genius.
Thank you.
I like that.
All right, so your thing is would you rather switch bodies with a 5-year-old girl,
okay,
or switch bodies with an extraordinarily healthy 85-year-old woman?
So if I pick the 5-year-old, I'm the same height.
Yeah.
Wait, is the 5-year-old in good shape?
She's 5, dude.
But like she's healthy. But I'm saying she's healthy.
It's incredible to me that like you want to know her physical stats. You're like, what's her body?
Well, I don't want to fucking die young.
I mean, she's not like obese. She's a 5-year-old, dude.
Wait, so I become 5?
Do you become 5? You are 5. It's you go in the body of her. Like you are her now.
And I stay that forever?
No, you gotta do life.
Picking a fucking 5-year-old. Why would I want to die sooner?
Because then you gotta have your first period. You gotta.
So what?
What do you mean? So what, dude?
I mean, the hardest part is I now have to be a woman. That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, I actually think that's very feminist to say.
Is it?
How hard it would
It's
be
harder.
to be a
It's
woman.
harder.
Do you think it's harder?
Yeah.
You're a bitch. That means you don't live life like in the way.
I mean, don't get me
that
wrong.
should.
Having a period would be sick.
You think so?
Yeah.
How so?
Because you get to be a fucking, you kind of get to be a dick for a little bit,
We're
and
right
everyone's
back
like,
to misogyny. Welcome back, folks, to 5-second feminism.
I'd bleed for a little bit just so I could be a dick. You know?
I would be ripping periods left and right, dude. Every day of the week, I'd be like, "Oh, I had one. Sorry, you're a douchebag."
Right? And then everyone has to just kind of forgive you, like, it was just a period.
Yeah.
I would do it.
What is the male period? What's the thing that women excuse us for because we have to deal with that? Is it horniness?
Probably horniness.
Probably horniness, right?
Yeah. Oh, I had a period moment recently.
Yeah. How's the cycle?
I've had a couple of these. It's when you're on TRT, if you don't, like back in the day, actually, I had the most estrogen experience ever. So I remember back before I knew you're supposed to take PCT after taking a steroid cycle, if you don't take PCT, your estrogen will just go through the roof. And I remember I was watching America's Got Talent, and I just started crying because someone got the golden buzzer, and I remember being like, I need to get blood work done now. So
are you currently not taking PCT because you were crying during Love on the Spectrum?
Well, that actually, as soon as I did that, I was like, oh, I'm actually due for a shot of test, which was actually right on the money.
I think you just are a sensitive man, and I think that's great. Like, I don't think that you should have emotions and then go, I need testosterone.
That happens all the time where I'm like, I need to fucking... I was having a moment after the breakup where I was just sad, and I was like, I need to up the test.
That's hilarious. Does it work?
I'll shoot test and then listen to David Goggins or some type of motivation or something like that, and it works for a short period of time.
Damn. Is that what you think the best fix is for when you're going through an emotional spell, is to like listen to a motivational speaker? Like, what's the thing for you?
I listen to Vegeta with edits, like cold Vegeta edits.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. That's in my rotation for sure. Do you ever journal?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of journaling. Working, honestly, dude, like all the
gym, 100%.
Yeah, all the things that like a guy in a podcast clip about
I don't look at this because everything went great.
There you go. There you go. I used to have a joke where I'd say, like, you know, I have biceps from picking up my self-esteem.
I had an early joke about that too, where it's like bodybuilders. When people think we're cocky, it's like, no, we're like this because we hated the stock version of ourselves.
Yeah, that's
we're
great.
like, yeah. I said we're like back then. The joke was, I'm like, we're like a Mexican Honda Civic. We're like, maybe put some flames on it, and no one will notice.
It's so true. And then because I have a buddy. His name's Jake Lombardo. He's a bodybuilder. He's younger than us. My brother's grade. And we like all grew up together. We would like go see like the Yu-Gi-Oh movie in theaters and stuff like that.
Lame.
So dope. And he's the biggest, strongest guy I know. Like he's like very much bigger and stronger than me. So he, like obviously much bigger and stronger than you. And I bump into him in the gym.
I don't like that.
What's up?
I don't like that.
Oh, what are you gonna fucking do about it?
I'm gonna beat your friend up.
Shut up. Dude, he's a mountain, and he's like a competitive lifter, and he is the nicest, sweetest person I've ever met. Most of these guys, dudes, are actually so kind and sweet, because I think, dude, if you're lifting up, 400 pounds on a weekly basis, that weight is pushing against the part of you that is like angry and rude, because you're just so used to difficult circumstance that it's
Buddy, I've never met a nicer
you.
person than Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
Brian Shaw is 6'8", and at the time he was 465 pounds.
Damn.
And he actually leg presses a car.
That's crazy.
Like the dude, like I forgot what he probably deadlifts over 1,000. He bench press over 800 pounds. And this dude, like when I arm wrestled him, he's my first arm wrestling loss.
Right.
And like at first I was like, oh, I can't believe I lost. And Brian's like, oh, you lost to the strongest man that ever existed?
Yeah.
How crazy. That's so sad. But, like, he was the nicest person I've ever met in my life. And I realized, I'm like, oh, it's because he could absolutely fucking rip a person's head off their shoulders. Like, him and Dustin Poirier rolled together, and, like, Brian just, like, messing around. Yeah. But, like, there's a certain level of strength where you're like, when you're that big, you could just, like, fucking kill anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like Superman. He's just operating under, if I even, like, walk too hard, I'll break the earth. So I just have to live in humility.
So just like a gentle giant and the sweetest dude ever.
Damn. It's crazy that if you, like, wrap that guy in Kevlar, you could just catapult him at countries.
Yeah, if you could just send him in. That's why, like, could you imagine the fear people had, like, back in the day, the Viking days, when you saw a bunch of Brian Shaws getting off a ship into your city, and you're just like, whoop. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, well, when people are just like, oh, I guess we moved today.
Yep.
Get everything together, kids.
Sorry, wife. It was fun while it lasted.
Sorry, wife.
We had a great run.
Boy.
All right. We should wrap this up.
It up. I think. I also think that we should. Should I teach you what's up with a little arm wrestling?
You want to arm wrestle me? Or you want to go lefty?
I'm better with my left.
Are you? Okay, good. Sure. Nick said he wants to do this every time until
the podcast does not end until I beat him in arm wrestling. So
she's like, fuck.
So the engineer just cried tears of joy because she knows that this is the last episode because you're about to meet your maker.
That'll be what we do is if he ever beats me, the podcast is over.
Oh.
You tell me when you're ready to start.
Ready, set. Wait, can you call it, Jennifer?
Yeah. Ready, set, go.
No, you're supposed to go.
Yeah, no.
I want to feel like
I'm gonna let you go as hard as you want.
No, that's cheating. By the way, that's a disadvantage.
You're gonna give a 10-second countdown. That's how long he has of an advantage. I'll let him go for 10 seconds.
Okay. Ready, set.
This is your advantage. So
my
go.
Advantage time?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No fucking way, dude. There's no way. That was crazy. I actually was like, oh, I'm about to win this. I actually was about to not be friends with him anymore because I'm like, oh, he's actually like not cool. He's actually helpful, dude. Damn. I wasn't trying, but that was good. That was pretty good for you.
I gave you, no joke, 40% effort.
Nah. Let's go right-handed. That's what it was. Tip.
Go ahead.
Ready, set, go.
I'm not giving you an advantage because this is my bad shoulder. So.
Oh my God, you are at such an advantage. Your arms are so short. It's like the distance you have to close is like that big,
That's
dude.
not how leverage works at all.
Well, you're not a scientist, so I win. Listen, guys. Being
So the
Chad
podcast
is not
keeps
about
on going.
strength. It's not about
The
physical
podcast
strength.
keeps on going.
It's about opening your heart. It's about being.
I'm sorry,
a
you're so
kind
small I can't hear you
person.
talking.
There's no way my voice is like. You actually can't hear it in the mix.
Please add subtitles
The
for when
point
he
is,
talks.
guys, I'm so much bigger than Nick. Yeah, keep it in that wide.
All right, and that's the podcast. Welcome to CHADGPT.
We have stand-up dates. Come see us.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to CHADGPT. You guys were awesome.
Stay Chad.